Am I the jerk for refusing to drive to my wife's monthly family get-together? My wife, 33F, and I, 35M, have been married for 3 years. Her family is very tight-knit, and every month they have a family get-together at my wife's parents' house. It is always on Sundays because my wife's siblings have kids and they all have activities on Saturdays, so Sunday is the only free day everyone has. They live a 3-hour drive from us. We always make a day trip because obviously we have to work on Monday. Needless to say, it's a lot of driving in one day. The get-together is usually just a nice meal and some games, nothing too fancy or crazy. I like her family and enjoy hanging out with them, but there have been times when I don't feel like going and there's no hard feelings about not attending. The problem is that if I don't attend, my wife doesn't attend. She is a very anxious driver, especially on freeways and highways where aggressive drivers and semi-trucks tend to be more common. She's never been in an accident or anything like that. She just doesn't feel comfortable driving long distances on freeways with speeding cars. It freaks her out. So if I don't go, she won't drive herself there. There also isn't anyone else from her family that lives nearby could come pick her up without adding at least 2 hours to their drive. Last month we didn't attend because I had just gotten back from a work trip and wanted to use that weekend to relax at home. My wife and in-laws understood. This month's get-together is this coming Sunday. My wife is adamant that we attend this one because we missed the last one. I told her I will go, but she's going to have to drive at least one leg of the trip. I don't want to be driving for 6 hours like every other time. This started a fight because she said, I know how much she hates driving on freeways, and that's too far of a drive for her to keep from freaking out. I told her that if she wants to keep driving 6 hours in a day to see her family every month, then she's going to need to start driving at least half of it because I'm tired of doing all that driving by myself. I told her that I will be with her in the car and will be a good co-pilot to keep her calm and focused. Unlike when I drive, and she buries her face in her phone for 2-3 of the drive. I told her we can take it slow and easy, and it will be good practice for her to become more comfortable with that type of driving. She is not agreeing to this, and is insisting that I drive like every other time because of her anxiety about it. I am refusing to budge, and told her that this is something for her family, so she needs to start putting in at least some effort to make it happen. She thinks I am being a jerk about it, and not taking her feelings into consideration and being dismissive of her anxiety. We have not come to an agreement on this yet, but I really don't want to give in. Driving 6 hours in a day can be exhausting, and I'm tired of being the only one to do it, especially when it's every month. Am I the jerk for exposing my friend's plastic surgery in front of her husband? So I have a friend who, when we were in college, got some work done. It was known to everyone, and she never had a problem sharing with people and giving them tips on who to go to, the aftermath, and everything. We are now 30, and the whole friend group knows, and whenever she meets new people, she tells them, or so she told me. Yesterday, she invited me to her and her husband's, and we were playing some old videotapes and pictures of our memories, and we were reminiscing the past and everything. Until a photo of her pre-surgery appeared, and her husband was like, "Oh, she looks so different." So I was like, "Oh, it must have been pre-surgery." He was like, "What surgery?" I looked at him, then at her, then she tried to deflect the situation, but the setting was awkward for the rest of the night. Apparently, she dated him and married him, but she lied about getting work done, and he believed her. After I left, he demanded answers, which forced her to say the truth. She called me today saying I am the AH for exposing her, but I was like, how could have known you lied to him when you are always upfront about it? Like, if she doesn't mention it herself, she expects me to mention it on her behalf to other people we meet, except her husband. I also told her she invited me to view our old photos. Why didn't she just give me heads up about it like she knew old photos pre-surgery would appear? She hung up on me saying she doesn't want to know me anymore and that I am terrible secret keeper. Am I the jerk for requiring that guests change clothes before they sit on my furniture? This is a throwaway. I'm 20M and I live alone. I'm a very neat person. My mother kept our house pristine growing up, and I helped her for as long as I can remember. I recently moved out into my own place, and something that I started thinking about was how many germs from outside we track into our houses. I always change out of my clothes as soon as I get home, but whenever I have guests, they don't. And I have no idea where they've been or what their clothes have been exposed to. About a month ago, I bought a bunch those clear, disposable raincoats, and I started telling people who I invited over that they could bring a change of fresh clothes to change into or wear one of the coats before they sit on my furniture. I also offer to wash the clothes that they change out of, if they want to. My girlfriend doesn't have a problem with this and started just leaving clothes at my place. My mom and my little sister have also been okay with this new rule. But I invited a friend over yesterday. I told them about the clothes thing before they came. And when they got here, they were surprised that I actually enforced it and said, "You've got to F*** key king with me." I told them no, I'm serious. And then they left. They haven't been answering my messages either. I was talking to my mom about it today, and she said it was pretty excessive and unreasonable to expect everybody to do. I disagree, but I'm kind of double-guessing myself. Am I in the wrong here? Am I the jerk for not attending my brother's wedding? My brother and his fiancée are having a small destination wedding. The resort they are having the wedding at is an all-inclusive in the Caribbean. The main issue with my fiancé and me attending is mainly money-based. We make a pretty good living combined, but we are saving for our own wedding, a house, and a second car, as well as trying to plan for a family in the next 3-ish years. For a quick breakdown, it would cost us a little over $2,000 to stay at the resort for 3 nights in the cheapest room with the block discount. It will cost around $3,000 for airfare for the 2 of us. We have animals at home that will need to be cared for, and that will come out to about $1,000. All of these costs are about half of what we are planning on spending on our wedding next year. My brother has put me specifically on a need-to-attend list and has stated that if people want to be there for our wedding, they will find a way. We could make the trip work monetarily, but it's going to wipe out a lot of progress we've made with saving and paying down debts like student loans, which we have in excess of $40,000 each. We could even push our wedding off until 2025, but we want to be married sooner than later. I could go by myself, leaving my fiancé by his lonesome to handle the animals, but this doesn't seem fair to him as we rarely take vacations. Also, as a note, my brother and his wife are already legally married and had a celebration with select family in the States last year that we couldn't make it to. The reasons here is they invited us out to California. We live on the East Coast, when other family was going to be in town but did not tell us they were going to be getting married. Would I be the asshole if I didn't attend the destination wedding? Update. In talking with my fiancé, family, and brother, we decided we will not be attending the wedding. Instead, we will be sending them a small monetary gift, about as much as tickets cost to get them to our wedding, and provide the honeymoon suite room to my brother and his wife at our wedding. No one was too upset with the exception of his wife, who just wanted us there for her day. Everyone understands and gets why we are prioritizing what we are. Am I the jerk for telling my lab partner I'm not doing the assignment even though she's on vacation? I take a physics lab course, and of course there is a girl who asked me to be my partner because she knows that I generally strive for good grades. I was reluctant to say yes, but after he asking and saying that she'll work hard, I agreed and said sure. A few weeks ago, she sent me a text saying that she won't be able to work on the report, which was due at midnight that night because her uncle had died and she was upset. I said, "Oh, okay, and I understand," and I completed the whole lab right up by myself. While I was working on it, she sent me several texts asking if I was done yet, and I said yes and submitted it. I then checked Snapchat stories, and I saw that she was out at a bar with friends getting drunk and was there for the hours I spent working on the project. I was kind of pissed about it, but I just let it go. A few weeks later, we had another lab report due Friday night at midnight, and on Friday morning she sent me a text and said that she's in Nashville, and that she felt that she contributed enough to the weekly lab project that she wasn't going to do any more work on the project and that she was going to spend her time enjoying herself in Nashville. When I logged into the Google Doc, there was no work completed other than 2 data tables filled out, which is just copying and pasting and takes 2 minutes to do, no introduction or conclusion written, none of the questions answered. So I sent her a text and said I am going to fill out my own lab and that she can do the same. Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for ordering salmon at a vegan friend's birthday dinner when she asked everyone to eat vegetarian? I, 21F, was diagnosed with autism in April last year. Everyone in my friend group is aware of this. One characteristic linked to my autism is my strong aversion to many foods. I'm an extremely picky eater, and the only vegetable I actually like is potatoes, and I can stand carrot. though I'm okay with most fruits. Whenever I'm going to a new restaurant, I always research the menu beforehand to mentally prepare myself for what I'll eat. Unexpected changes can be really hard for me. My friend Lily is vegan and celebrated her birthday yesterday. She decided to invite our friend group dine at a health-focused restaurant that, while offering many vegetarian-vegan options, also serves chicken and fish dishes. Before going, I checked the menu and decided on grilled salmon with mashed potatoes, planning to ignore the side salad. When we arrived, Lily requested that we all choose to eat vegetarian for the night for her birthday. I apologized and explained that there wasn't a vegetarian option I liked in the menu. Everyone else agreed to her request, and she persisted with me. I expressed that had I known this beforehand, I would have eaten at home and just ordered a vegetarian appetizer. I was genuinely hungry by that point. After some back and forth, I asked if I should leave, and she allowed me to stay, but the atmosphere was tense. The rest of the evening was awkward, with Lily avoiding conversation with me. Today I texted her and asked if everything was okay between us, but she responded by saying I'm too spoiled and a jerk for not even doing the one thing she asked for her birthday. I'm not confrontational by nature, so I apologized again and responded by asking her to inform me in advance next time. She hasn't replied yet. Now I am wondering if I was the jerk in this situation.